Let's spend less than 3 minutes talking about nothing. Let's spend less than 3 minutes talking about the Tangzu BaJie. These are a $599 IEM, and they use a combination of dynamic driver, balanced armature, electrostatic, and bone conduction. They also come in a shell that's really nicely packaged. There's a little vent on top of them as well that looks pretty cool. It's a little chrome or stainless steel type vent. Their cable is cloth wrapped. It feels really nice. It seems to be a decent quality cable. And inside the fairly epic packaging, you also get a pretty epic set of tips and a leather case. The leather case looks like that. Nice dividers on the inside to keep your IEMs protected, and even some holders for the ear tips. Pretty cool. That's become pretty standard for Tangzu IEMs at around about this price. Comfort from the BaJies for me was pretty good. They're a fairly standard style, molded design. Nothing too unique about the size, shape or angle of the nozzles, and that's great. And then when it comes to their sound, they're a crisp, clean sounding IEM with really nice solid bass. They have all their bass emphasis down low, so they don't tend to overtake or overdo the bass, but it's very impressive, very authoritative when it's needed. Another area that I found them to be really strong is in things like the sense of articulation and clarity on certain sounds. Sounds like the hit of a drumstick on cymbals, or the pluck or strumming of a rhythm guitar, or a particularly crunchy synth sound. It just delivers that crunch, that snap and that attack beautifully without getting aggressive. There's a little bit of sense of emphasis in the upper mid-range that delivers a bit of extra texture and clarity to vocals, but it's also managed very well, so overall the tonality is pretty natural. It's a little bit emphasized, but not too much. Comparing the BaJies to the slightly more expensive Gate, I think I prefer the BaJies, partly because of their extra sense of bass, but also that sense of clarity and attack that I mentioned before. But another IEM that you might consider, an older one, is the Zen Mango Top. Similar price and quite similar sound, but the treble from the tops is a little bit less refined than from the BaJies, and so it can sound a little bit grainier or less enjoyable on some tracks or some source devices. On the other hand though, the tops deliver a slightly more coherent sound. The BaJies tend to separate everything a bit more, possibly due to all the individual drivers working. It's not bad, but it's a different experience. The tops are focusing even on the music. The BaJies tend to want to separate the sounds out a bit more. And then the final thing to mention is that staging from both of those IEMs is excellent, and so focusing on the BaJie, the staging is very good. They deliver more layering and depth than the Gate that I mentioned before, which is more expensive. And I think overall for a $600 IEM, the BaJies are very impressive and one I'd recommend.